This is Mak
and Izma, reporting from Open Den.
on different post-graduation routes graduates can take.
A lot of students don't know what a good fit for them is, but there's always an end to the road. Let's hear from life coach Sarah Stewart.
I had a hard high school because I'm hard-headed, and so everything had to be my way. Even when it's the hard way, I wanted to be just able to go through the hard stuff without being told how to fix things. I needed to experience life in my own way, and I didn't need anybody telling me what to do. And I don't recommend that to someone, because I do think it's helpful to have people who are seasoned in life give you some guidance, even if it's not necessarily you're going to take everything. So I'm interesting because I actually did not complete my senior year. I dropped out and went back when I was pregnant with my oldest, and ended up getting my high school diploma through a homeschool program. But I dropped out because I was just too cool for school, clearly. I think that's okay. I think it's really, actually, I think it's more common than we as a society even want to see, is that we don't really sometimes know what we want to do until later in life. Because if you think about it, you don't really necessarily know who you are yet. And so how do you know what makes you happy if you haven't figured out who you are? So I think just get out there and do the different things, try different things until you find what makes you happy and brings you joy and gives you purpose, and then follow that path.
Some people have a passion for service, and some people just don't know what they want to do. Let's hear from Sergeant First Class Nash.
I feel like there are a lot of people that choose the military as an option because they don't have a lot of other options. And that wasn't me at all. Even though I wasn't a good student in high school, I had wanted to join the Army since I was 10 years old. But what I didn't know is that there were lots of different ways that you could do that. You could go to a military academy like West Point or the Naval Academy, or you could go to a place like Texas A&M or and join the Corps or do these other things and become an Army officer. All I knew is I had to graduate high school and then I was going to leave for the Army. I had planned on only doing 3 years in the Army and then going to Texas A&M, but I fell in love, got married, had some babies, and the opportunity for me to go do a traditional university experience, passed me by. But after leaving active duty after 8 years, I joined the reserves, and as a reservist, I pieced together my undergrad degree. It took me many years to get it done. Had to chip away. Finally got that done, and then once I finished my undergrad, I got accepted to Texas A&M for my master's degree. If somebody doesn't have the resources and they have to go into debt in order to go to college and they don't know exactly what it is that they want to do, that's a big gamble that they're taking to leave themselves in significant debt, whether they graduate or not, and then trying to find a job that might not be what they studied, and they paid for an experience, which maybe that's wonderful.
Like a lot of his fellow graduates, Micah and Nash decided to opt out of college and join the workforce. Here's some advice from him and his coworker, Brandon Stewart.
I wish I would have started this a lot younger, at like Micah's age.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people it's a great option.
So for me, I did college basically for the college experience.
I think that nowadays it's becoming less and less important for a lot of jobs. I think there are definitely jobs and career paths where it's necessary, but for the vast majority of jobs now, I'd say it's just become unnecessary, and that the experience you would gain working for those 4 to 6 years you'd be in college can be much more beneficial and put you in less debt.
Yeah.
In our program, but even then it's usually less expensive than traditional colleges, and you can learn much more specific instances. So you're not having to take English, math, history, science. You're just learning what you are wanting to learn.
And you're making money while you're doing it.
Very fun environment to a lot of people. It's a horrible environment to some. Some people would not like it at all.
If you're not one that can get out and grind or hustle and be out there 7 days a week, actually working for yourself or your family to provide.
A handful of students have a passion for the arts. Let's hear from artist Andy Roten.
I think life experiences are much more important than the education necessarily that you get from college. I spent a lot of time in Paris, in France, I traveled the world looking for art for my clients. I went to many auctions outside of Paris and in London and England. And I just traveled a lot, and I just enjoyed seeing all the museums across the world. I would say get into the digital area for sure. I would definitely go to an art institute, Chicago or New York, maybe Paris, and study in those areas. Learn your craft first, and then go out into the world and do what you want to do.
This has been Mac
And Izma.
reporting from Open Den. Thank you.